You can name exactly what's wrong with you. You know your patterns, your triggers, the reason you do the thing you keep doing, and none of it has made you happier. That's the strange part nobody warns you about. Self-awareness was supposed to be the answer. Instead, it turned into a spotlight you can't switch off. Psychologists have a name for this gap, and it explains why the most reflective people are often the least at peace. Today, 7 quiet signs your self-awareness has turned against you. And by number 7, you'll see the one question that's been keeping you stuck. It's a question you've probably asked yourself this week. Number 1. You can see the pattern, and you still can't stop it. You watch yourself pick the same argument, avoid the same message, repeat the same mistake. There's a running commentary in your head the entire time. Most people at least get the mercy of not knowing. You get the front row seat. Awareness without change doesn't feel like insight. It feels like failure. And that gap between knowing and doing has a second cost, one that shows up in how you handle your own feelings. Number 2. You analyze your feelings instead of having them. Something hurts, and within seconds you're explaining it. This is probably attachment stuff. This is probably because of how I grew up. Psychologists call this intellectualizing, and it works. That's the problem. Turning an emotion into a diagram makes it manageable and keeps it unfinished. The feeling waits. It doesn't leave just because you understood it. And the same reflex that follows you into pain also follows you into joy. Number 3. You can't enjoy something without watching yourself enjoy it. You're at dinner with people you love, and part of you is up in the corner of the room, observing. How am I coming across? Am I actually having a good time? Is this the feeling I'm supposed to be having? Researchers call this self-monitoring, and turned up too high, it puts glass between you and your own life. You're present and reporting on being present at the same time. Nothing lands fully because half of you is taking notes, which is exactly why the standard you're measuring against is so hard to meet. Number 4. You hold yourself to a standard you'd never hand to anyone else. A friend tells you they snapped at someone because they were exhausted, and you tell them it's fine, they're human. You do the same thing, and you replay it for 3 days. Self-aware people often mistake harshness for honesty. If you can see your flaw clearly, it feels like you have no excuse for it. So awareness becomes evidence in a case you're building against yourself. And once you're used to seeing through yourself that clearly, you start seeing through everyone else too. Number 5. You can see through comfort, so comfort stops working. Someone tells you it'll be okay, and you hear the reassurance script underneath it. Someone gives you a compliment, and you clock the social reason they gave it. You're rarely wrong. That's what makes it lonely. Support can't reach you if you disassemble it before it arrives. So you end up feeling unseen in rooms full of people who are genuinely trying. And when nothing outside can land, there's only one place left to look for the cause. Number 6. You know exactly why you're unhappy, and that makes it feel like your fault. There's a strange cruelty in understanding your own problem. If you can explain the mechanism, shouldn't you be able to fix it? So every bad day arrives with a second layer. The day itself, and the verdict that you should know better. Understanding your suffering does not give you control over it. Those are 2 different skills. But there's a reason your awareness keeps circling instead of helping. And it comes down to one word in the question you keep asking. Number 7. There are 2 kinds of self-awareness, and almost everyone is doing the wrong one. Researchers found that people who reflect the most are not the people who understand themselves best. The difference isn't how much you look inward, it's the question you use. Ask why, and your mind hands you theories. Why am I like this? Why do I always do this? Why has no bottom? You can dig for years and only find more reasons. Ask what, and your mind hands you something you can act on. What am I feeling right now? What do I need? What would help? Same attention, opposite outcome. One traps you in the analysis, the other walks you out of it. This is why the most self-aware people can also be the most stuck. You were never too self-aware. You were just asking the question that has no floor. Here's what this actually means. Your awareness isn't the problem, and dulling it isn't the fix. The people who see themselves clearly and still feel okay aren't seeing less. They've paired what they see with something most self-aware people skip entirely, which is kindness toward the person they're seeing. Awareness without self-compassion isn't insight, it's surveillance. So the next time you catch yourself asking, "Why am I like this?" try swapping one word. Ask, "What do I need right now?" and notice how different your mind sounds. If this described you, send it to the person who'd recognize themselves in number 3. And subscribe to Psychology Untangled, because next time we untangle why the people who apologize the most are usually the ones who did the least wrong.